Good day. You are welcome to Reservation Mathematics Institute, the home of the transformation of the abstract nature of mathematics into concrete concept. In our previous video, we have made emphasis and we have simplified the abstract nature of mathematics using what we have in our environment. And in continuation of our algebraic processes topic we've started, we are looking into the algebraic processes involving the multiplication of brackets. We have algebraic processes, multiplication of brackets. We have said the multiplication of brackets in the sense that these brackets involve an expression being in a confined space. This is an expression, s plus 1 is an expression. This is a bracket. That simply means that it is in a confined space, and we have another expression of this form, s plus 2. This is another expression, s plus 2. This is another expression, s plus 1. But the multiplication involves a dot. That shows that we are multiplying the two brackets, and the two brackets have to be an element of an expression. That simply means that an expression is confined in a bracket. An expression of s plus 1, an expression of s plus 2. So we have said what an expression is in all of your videos, that it's the combination of like and unlike times with an operator that is separator. At that point, we have a positive separator here that separates s plus 1, and s is a term, 1 is another term, but two different terms. Likewise, you have s and also have 2, and an operator positive that separates the two terms. So how can we multiply the two expressions in a bracket? So let's briefly look into the abstract nature, which we will always try as much as possible to analyze that in a simplified form using a concrete pattern. So let's look into the abstract nature. We have our s into s plus 2 plus 1 s plus 2. This is s plus 2. But it looks abstract at this junction. The first thing we have done is that we have taken out a variable, a term, s, in such a way that we use this first variable all into the second bracket plus the second variable in the first expression, which is the first bracket, into the whole of s plus 2. Looking at this, let's briefly look into the concrete analysis. We always have our blender that has the head, which is the engine, and also the core. We have our engine. Let's represent s with the engine plus the core, s plus the engine plus the core, and this is a carton. That's the carton. This is the engine and the core in a carton. This is the first blender, second blender. That's the second blender. So at this point, we want to try as much as possible to simplify the multiplication of brackets. So you have brought the s out. We all understand this to this level. So this, we have two removal of brackets. We have done that topic also, removal of brackets. So at this point, let's go through the concrete aspect so that we'll be able to compare with what we have done. This is the first blender. We are taking out the engine in the first blender, putting it beside the full carton of the second blender. You all know that in that engine of the first blender, we have in the silver crest of the first, or the silver crest, we have the first engine and also a cup. So we are taking out the engine. We are putting that beside the old second blender in the carton, plus the one simply means that jug, that cup in that engine, in that silver crest, in the first silver crest, or beside the second blender, which is compared with this now. Let's explain that again. This is the first blender, this is the second blender. The same nature. Let's say silver crest 1, silver crest 2. But you are unpacking one by taking out the engine and the cup. So you are taking out the engine, putting it beside the second blender with the carton, without unpacking that. Plus the cup in the first blender, beside the whole carton of the second blender. That is exactly what you have done here. And the removal of bracket means we are removing the bracket from the expression. So this is s times s squared plus, this is an imaginary plus, we have done that in the past videos, plus times plus is plus, s times 2 is plus 2s. This is imaginary plus times plus, this is 1 times s, 1s, which is the same thing as s. Plus times plus is plus, 1 times 2 is 2. This simply means you have s squared plus 2s plus 1s. You have 2 naira with you. Also have another 1 naira with you. That means you have 3 naira with you. That is 3s plus 2. Let's go through the concrete aspect. Where we have this is an engine. It is now time for us to unpack the second blender, which is the removal of the bracket, removal of the carton. So removing the carton from the second blender has another method, which is called the removal of bracket when it comes to mathematics. So removing the bracket, we now see that you already have one engine. Unpacking the second blender, you'll be able to see, you come in contact with another engine. That is engine times engine, that is engine squared, plus this is plus, and we have another engine, another cup, the cup multiplied by the engine. That simply means you have multiplied the whole carton, unpacking the carton of second blender with the multiplication of the engine of the first blender. So in this second analysis here, we have a plus. Remember, we have this one represent the jug, which is present in the first blender. This is the whole carton of the second blender. This shows to us that we are unpacking this second blender and multiplying the components with the first blender. Now, the first blender minus the engine plus minus multiplication by multiplied by the engine plus the engine. This is the cup in the second blender. This is the cup in the first blender. This is 1 times 2, that is 2. Collecting the like terms is what we have done here. Now collecting the like terms, this is not the like term, s squared stands on its own. 2s plus 1s simply means that you have 2 naira in a box, you have another 1 naira in your car. Bringing the two together, we have a total of 3 naira plus 3s plus 2. This is the simplification of the multiplication of brackets. We can see that we cannot simplify this further because we do not have any like terms. Every term stands on its own, being a carrier of a star.